This week, Somalia blocked a foreign state from using its federally controlled airspace, ports, and security corridors. That alone should have been global news. But it wasn't framed that way. Because the story isn't Somalia versus the UAE. The story is a sovereign African state shutting down a foreign logistics network that had been quietly operating without federal authorization. A UAE registered cargo plane transported a foreign separatist leader through Somali airspace by using a breakaway region as a physical entry point. The Somali federal government detected it and canceled every agreement that made that possible. That isn't politics. That is federal jurisdiction being enforced. Somalia didn't get angry. It made foreign movement without federal permission illegal. And remember, if you want more Africa First stories the Western media ignores, hit subscribe. We don't chase the headlines, we chase the truth. And by the end of this video, you'll understand how ports, planes, and contracts become a control system and why Somalia is shutting that down.
maalin wanaagsan dhammaan walaalaha Soomaaliyeed ee sharafta leh meel kasta oo aad joogtaan maanta waxaan mar kale idin soo hor istaagay inaan ka hadlo xaaladihii ugu dambeeyay ee dalka iyo tallaabooyinka dawladdu ay qaaday ee ku aadan difaaca wadajirka midnimada iyo madax bannaanida Jamhuuriyadda Federaalka Soomaaliya tan iyo markii kayaanka Israa'iil ee xoog ku haysta dhulka reer Falastiin uu ku dhawaaqay go'aankii qariska Turka ahaa ee uu qayb ka mid ah gobolada dalkeena ay yiraahdeen dawlad gaar ah ayaan u aqoonsanaynaa waxaan qaadanay tallaabooyin kala duwan oo la xiriira difaaca midnimada dalka iyo dadka Soomaaliyeed waxaan xiriiro la sameynay dalalka caalamka iyo hay'adaha caalamiga ah ee aan annagu xubnaha ka nahay si aan taageero ugu helno qadiyadeena xaq ah ee ka difaacidda qarankeena xadgudubka qaawan ee Netanyahu alla mahadi dhammaan tallaabooyinkii aan qaadnay waxay ahaayeen kuwo guuleed waxaana suurta gashay in dunida ay si isku mid ah iyadoo isticmaalaysa erayada ugu adag waliba ku diiday isku dayga Israa'iil ee kala qaybinta dalka Soomaaliya sidoo kale waxaa lagama maarmaan noqotay inaan qaadano go'aano taabanaya heshiisyadii nagala dhaxeeyay dalalka qaarkood oo aan u aragnay in aysan u adeegayn midnimada dalka dadka iyo dawladnimada Soomaaliya sida aad ka warqabtaan shalay oo ay taariikhdu ahayd 12 January 2026 golaha wasiirada dawladda federaalka Soomaaliya ayaa go'aamiyay in la buriyo dhammaan heshiisyadii dawladda federaalka Soomaaliya la gashay dawladda isu tagga Imaaraadka Carabta oo ay ku jiraan kuwa quseeya kaabayaasha dhaqaalaha amniga iyo difaaca laba geesoodka ah ee ku xusan go'aanka golaha wasiirada ka soo baxay shalay waxaa hubaal ah in dad badan isweydiinayaan maxaa keenay in dawladdu buriso heshiisyadaas ay kula jirtay dawladda isu tagga Imaaraadka Carabta waxaan rabaa in aan dadka Soomaaliyeed u caddeeyo in dawladda Imaaraadka Carabta aan la lahayn xiriir wanaagsan oo dhankeena aan u galnay si niyad samaan ah oo qalbi furnaan ah nasiib darro dawladda isu tagga Imaaraadka noolama dhaqmin sidii dawlad mid ah oo madax bannaan intaas kadib weli maynaan degdegin ee marar badan ayaan ka dalbanay dawladda Imaaraadka inay noola macaamilaan in aan nahay hal dal oo madax bannaan mas'uul ah ayna joojiyaan habka docfaruurka ah ee ay albaabada kala duwan uga soo galayeen dalkeenna ayagoo ku kacaya arrimo aanay mararka qaarkood ka warhayn dowladda federaalka ee Soomaaliya kana dhex fulaya Soomaaliya gudaheeda kuwaas oo xadgudubna ku ah haybadda iyo qarannimada dalkeenna.
On Monday, January 12th, 2016, Somalia's Council of Ministers, exercising its constitutional authority over foreign relations and national security, announced it was annulling all agreements with the United Arab Emirates. That included port operations, security cooperation, and defense agreements. Now, that may sound bureaucratic, but what it really meant was Somalia was telling a foreign state, you no longer get to move through our territory on your own terms. The decision named 3 physical access points where foreign infrastructure had been operating through regional administrations: Berbera in Somaliland, Basaso and Puntland, and Kismayo in Jubaland. These are not random coastal towns. They sit on the Red Sea, Gulf of Aden corridor, one of the most strategically important shipping and military routes on Earth, a corridor that connects Europe, the Middle East, East Africa, and the Indian Ocean. By canceling the UAE agreement, Mogadishu cut off federally unauthorized foreign access to cargo movement, customs systems, military transit, energy shipping. This was not symbolic, it was structural, and it was triggered by a few very specific breaches. So, what actually happened? Well, on January 8th, 2026, Abdaris al-Zubaydi entered Somali territory. So, al-Zubaydi is the leader of Yemen's Southern Transitional Council, a UAE-backed separatist political military movement fighting for the partition of Yemen. According to Somalia's State Minister for Foreign Affairs, Ali Omar, al-Zubaydi was moved on a UAE-registered cargo aircraft that used Berbera in Somaliland as its entry point, and then passed through federally controlled Somali airspace and Mogadishu. Somalia received the flight manifest, and al-Zubaydi's name was not on it. And Ali Omar told Al Jazeera, using Somali's airspace, Somali's airfields to smuggle a fugitive is not something Somalia condones. He called it the last straw. Now, understand what that means in practice. A foreign registered aircraft is used to move a foreign political military actor through Somalia's capital airspace and airport without being declared. After entering through a breakaway region that Mogadishu does not recognize as a sovereign authority. That isn't a misunderstanding. That isn't paperwork. That's a backdoor into federal territory. So this isn't about Yemen. This is about Somalia realizing that its border system, aviation system, and sovereignty had been bypassed by a foreign alliance that was starting to behave as if Somaliland, not Mogadishu, had the authority to grant access. That is why it exploded. So we're told that UAE operations in Somalia are about security and investment. The truth is they're about ports and airspace, which are sovereignly controlled systems. Somalia decides who enters, who exits, who is inspected, and who moves invisibly. If a foreign-backed political actor can be flown through Somali airspace without appearing on a manifest, then federal border control has been bypassed. So Somalia did not cancel agreements because of Yemen. It canceled them because its constitutional authority over borders and airspace was violated through a breakaway region acting as a proxy. So that isn't symbolism, that's statehood. So we often hear, we respect African sovereignty as long as we can do what we want. So that is its sovereignty. This decision hits Somalia on 3 levels. The first being ports. So Berbera, Bosaso, Kismayo are physical gateways where shipping, customs, logistics move through Somali territory. When foreign powers operate infrastructure through regional authorities instead of the federal state, they gain economic leverage without legal sovereignty. And that is what Mogadishu is shutting down. Secondly, airspace. Airspace is how diplomats move, military personnel move, security assets move. And if Somalia cannot control who flies through the sky, then it can't control its own security. And thirdly, internal balance. Somaliland, Puntland, and Jubaland host foreign-built port infrastructure. So when Mogadishu cancels UAE agreements, it is not attacking Somalia's regions, it's enforcing federal sovereignty over foreign access. That's why this confrontation is sharp. When Africa is unified, it's called unstable. When Africa is fragmented, it's called open for business. So why does this matter? This unfolded just days after Israel recognized Somaliland. And recognition of a breakaway region creates a parallel channel for foreign access to Somali territory. Somalia saw three things happen almost all at once. A UAE-backed Yemeni separatist moved through Somaliland. A federal airspace was used without permission, and a foreign state recognized that breakaway authority is okay. So Somalia closed the channel. And it's not emotional, it was preemptive. So Somalia did not cancel these contracts out of confusion. It did so out of sovereignty logic, because a state that cannot control who moves through its airspace and ports is not a state. Its borders were being used without consent, so it enforced them. So, mashallah, that's your African Insight for today. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because on MrEmpowerTV, we don't chase the headlines, we chase the truth behind them. This is Mr. Empower, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.